Okay. Why did you decide to come to live in Portugal, and what are your future plans in a already vast and award-winning career?
Well, I came to Portugal because it was always a dream to do so. My wife is Portuguese, and we used to come here, on holiday, and I was always thinking, oh man, it'd be so beautiful to live somewhere where the sun shines, because it doesn't shine so much in England.
Yeah.
But I guess what happened was there was the Brexit vote, and the next day I just said, okay, I don't agree with this mentality, this feeling, so I want to leave and start a new life in Portugal to follow my feeling of being European rather than being inward. I could feel a strange feeling in my country that I didn't want to be associated with. So it was an opportunity to try a new way,
Yeah.
And what was the other part of your question?
Yeah, that's it.
That's it, okay.
That's it. How did you meet and start working with the three musicians who accompany you?
Oh.
And other musicians in Portugal in general?
Yeah, well, this group is a brand new band, and this is the first time we've played. And I met Mario Costa getting on an airplane somewhere in France, I think. And I saw this guy with a cymbal case, and he looked at me, and I said, "Oh, yeah, you play the drums." He said, "Yeah, I'm Mario." I said, "Are you Mario?" Because I'd heard about him from a wonderful Italian percussionist called Michele Arabia. So we started to talk, and then I said, we should, I love things that happen by serendipity, kind of you meet someone, and I felt we should play. So then it took a while, but because I actually hired Mario, I'd never heard him play, but I thought, this feels good. And I hired him to play with my quartet for ECM with Ivan Arset and Michel Benita to play in Italy. But every time we had a gig, the gig got postponed or cancelled for one thing or another, so we never actually got to play. And then I was talking with my agent, my manager, saying, I really should think about connecting more with the musical family here in Portugal, because I live here and it makes sense to grow stories with the musicians where you are, as well as around the world. It's like one big family. And we said, who can I? And I said, Mario, we get Mario. And then I asked Mario about bass players, and he suggested Hugo. And I listened to some things of Hugo, and I thought, yeah, he's young, and then I'd heard before of Mario Delgado, and we thought this would be a perfect choice for guitar, because he's a more established Portuguese musician and a fantastic player. And it was a nice dynamic to have younger generation players, and they come from Porto, and I'm living more or less in Lisbon, and Mario's from Lisboa, and it felt like a nice way to begin a story.
Yeah. What's your opinion about the jazz scene in Portugal, and before Caning and now after?
Well, I mean, I've been coming here for years, with various bands playing. I played in the Hot Club like 40 years ago when I was very young. And the piano player was 17-year-old Bernardo Sassetti, So I've been coming a lot, but I need to get out and hear more Portuguese musicians, more. But what's happening in the world right now has kind of stopped my ability to do that. And before I was always playing in different. I mean, I do play in many different bands and travel throughout Europe, throughout the world, playing music. And it wasn't until this thing happened that all that disappeared for a while. And so it made me think, I really need to think about making music right here, right where I am, and to find out more about the Portuguese scene and musicians. And that's the wonderful thing about music, is that it's, there's great musicians everywhere. And once you can play, you can play. I said this to Mario yesterday, that's the thing. Once you can play, you can play. The problem is playing the right thing at the right time, figuring out how to do that. But I'm so enjoying making music with my new friends here, and I'm sure I'm going to find many, many more musicians to collaborate with and work with. I'm a big fan of Carlos Pica, for example. Yeah, fantastic. And I need to know more.
Yeah, normally this event, the Festa do Jazz, it's an event where we could cross between generations of musicians.
Yeah.
Young starters, young jazzmen with the older generation, and because of COVID this year, I think it's the worst thing that happens to our Festa. This is not possible. That is very important.
Of course.
The cross information and the experience that you can change with some younger guys and also the experience that some young musicians can bring to you and start growing new ideas and new experience.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. What kind of artistic approach do you intend to give to your quartet now?
Well, we just started working, and one of the beautiful things is that for the last few years, last 20 years, all my bands have been with musicians who live in different countries, and it meant that the music was very rarely rehearsed. We'd rehearse, but just at a sound check, and then bring a new tune, and then it'd play it live, and record it maybe without rehearsing as well. And this is giving me the opportunity, because the guys, especially Hugo and Mario Costa, said they're in Porto, which is some way away from me here, and but they said, no, we must come and rehearse. And I'm, really? You want to come and rehearse? Said, yes, of course. And I said, well, I can't really afford to pay everyone to come and rehearse. And no, we want to come and rehearse. And I think that's really refreshing, because I guess it's because nobody has any work at the moment, But to have the opportunity to actually rehearse new tunes and then talk about the music, and then go away for 2 weeks and think about it, and come back and say, you know what, I think we should change what's happening, between this section and that section, or the tempo, this doesn't feel, it's like an organic.
Yeah, doing some arrangement to the music.
Yeah, and let the music grow, and then of course we have to get out and play the music to people, because without the audience, without the chemistry of the musicians playing with each other to an audience, that's how the music really comes together.
Yeah.
But it's not bad to have a band that's keen to rehearse.
What's the importance of an event like this for the dissemination of this musical genre and to promote the meeting of musicians?
Well, I think an event, do you mean this festival?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, it's absolutely essential. There should be festivals such as this in every city, in every town, in every country in the world, 24/7. As far as I'm concerned, jazz should be on the TV, on the radio, all the time. The world needs this kind of music, and this kind of, it's honest, The music isn't about making a dollar, or about a kind of a fashion thing, or it's, in order to play jazz improvised music and to have a story, to be able to tell a story through an instrument, you have to really work at your music. It's like, it's not just like opening a few drawers and rattling a few things and thinking that's music. You have to work on your instrument, and that takes years, hours and hours and hours of diligent practice, to have this connection with the instrument and to have something to say with your music. And so I think, any art form like that means that it's a really worthwhile and honest and heartfelt kind of pursuit, you know, as a human being, to think I'm going to devote my life to making art, to making music, and with all that entails, it can only be a good thing. The music is good, and you know, I guess if you're a musician or if you're an art, you're lucky because you do have this medium through which to put your energy. You know, it's not everybody has that opportunity. Yeah. So I'm kind of digressing now, but I've always felt that music to me has just been. I mean, it's not a question of, I could do that or do this. It's like 100%. When I decided to be a musician and to devote my life to playing, it was 100%, you know. And then I guess you have to have a lot of luck to still be doing it. You know, I'm still doing it. Yeah. But I'm still practicing, I'm still finding new things. It's a never-ending, beautiful story.
That's almost what I have here for the last question. What do you think you still need to do or achieve?
Well, what do I still need to do? I mean, I think I can get better. You know, I can hear a lot of holes in my playing. I want to write more music, and I just want to play more. You know, right now I really want to get back on the road and play music with people, for people. But that's going to take a while, and we just have to accept that and, you know, hope for the best.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Obrigado.
Perfect.